The city once stood like a heartbeat of the world, a crown of marble and gold called Aurelion. Now it sleeps under layers of dust and silence. I walk its empty streets and feel the echo of lives that used to fill these walls, soldiers, poets, lovers, and dreamers, all gone, yet somehow still here. The wind moves through broken arches like a tired song. Every stone remembers something, a laugh, a promise, a name whispered in secret. History does not die, it simply forgets its own face. There was a time when Aurelion ruled over half the known lands, when its banners shimmered across the mountains and its kings believed they had conquered time itself. They built towers to touch the heavens, statues to outlast the stars. But time, patient and unbending, watched quietly until pride turned into dust. The empire did not fall in one night. It faded, slowly, beautifully, like the last light of evening. A harvest failed, a river changed its course, and the people began to leave. Silence grew where music once lived. In the end, no one noticed the moment when power became memory. I come here not as a conqueror but as a listener. I collect fragments of the past, coins smoothed by centuries, pieces of pottery that once held food, shards of glass that used to catch the morning sun. Each fragment feels like a heartbeat trapped in stone. People ask why I waste time on ruins. They say history feeds no one. But I find peace here, a kind of truth the modern world has forgotten. These ruins are honest. They do not pretend to be great. They simply exist. Perhaps that is greatness, to remain, even after meaning has dissolved. I often sit on a fallen column and watch the light change. The air is warm and quiet. Sometimes I imagine the city as it was, voices calling from the market, children running, someone somewhere writing a poem about the same sunlight that now touches my hands. It reminds me that history is not about kings or wars. It is about the small, unrecorded moments, the scent of bread in a morning kitchen, the sound of rain on a clay roof, the way two people looked at each other before they said goodbye. Those are the things that survive time, not the monuments. Once I found a clay tablet buried beneath a collapsed house. It was not a decree or a record. It was a love letter. The words were simple: I hope you find this when the flowers bloom again. I kept it for years, and every spring I read it aloud, though I will never know who wrote it or if the flowers ever bloomed again. But in that short, clumsy sentence, I felt more life than in all the books of emperors and battles. It made me realize that history breathes not in the stories of glory but in the quiet persistence of affection. Sometimes, when the sun sets, I hear the city breathe again, the faint murmur of forgotten lives stirring beneath the dust. It feels as if Aurelion is dreaming, waiting for someone to remember its name. I sit there until the stars appear, and I think about the future, about our cities of glass and steel that now rise where old ones fell. We believe they will last forever, just as the people of Aurelion once believed. But time will visit us, too. Someday, someone will walk through our ruins, holding a fragment of plastic or glass, wondering who we were and what we loved. They will not find our names carved in stone. But perhaps they will feel the same quiet ache I feel now, the ache of remembering something they never lived. In the end, history is not about victory. It is about endurance. Everything that once shone will fade, but the fading itself becomes beautiful. The dust that covers these stones carries more truth than the crowns that once glittered above them. Time does not destroy, it transforms. It takes what we build and turns it into silence. And in that silence, something eternal hums. Maybe that is what immortality really is, not being remembered, but simply existing in the breath of the wind, in the weight of stillness, in the dust of empires.